Hello and welcome to Bell the Cat. CAT is synonymous with Common Admission Test, which is the test conducted by the IIMs for admission to their management program as well as the management program of more than 1,000 institutes in India. In this video, we will particularly take a look at the 10-day strategy. Only 10 days to go. So how should you gear up? How should you brace for the occasion? What all needs to be done? What should not be done? What should be the focus area? And how do you handle this time period where the fear factor builds up, where the apprehension builds up, and one needs to be more balanced and poised to handle this challenge. तो देखते हैं कि 10 दिन में वो क्या-क्या करना चाहिए और वो क्या-क्या नहीं करना चाहिए जिससे आपका स्कोर अच्छा हो, which can land you in a B school of your choice. So here we go, 10 days to CAT. The first thing which you need to do as a CAT aspirant is converge. This is the time to converge. This is not the time to explore new areas. तो सबसे पहले इसमें आप याद रखेंगे कि ये टाइम है जब आप recapitulate करेंगे. You would have prepared in a very elaborate manner. Some people, they prepare for over more than 2 years. Certain others would put in a year. कुछ लोग 6 महीने करते हैं. So whatever time you've spent in the preparation bit, this is the time when you need to really sharpen the axe. You have to see what all you have covered and how do you consolidate now. So convergence जो है वो बहुत जरूरी है. If you are not able to converge properly, it is possible that you're not giving your best on that particular day. Don't explore new areas and topics. This is a critical time. The 10-day period is very critical. You cannot take the chance of going off the handle. कहीं अगर आप कुछ नया topic करते हैं, you're not able to comprehend it, or the challenge is enormous, which you're not able to manage in the 10-day span. It can really make you wavy and anxious. और ये अब आप afford नहीं कर सकते. So it is advised that you should not explore anything which is new. This is the time for revision and consolidation. This is the time for recapitulation. Consolidate your approach with respect to test taking strategies. देखिए बहुत से students बहुत सारे टेस्ट लिखते हैं. In the CAT test prep industry, we have a lot of mock CATs floating around. There is so much study material, but now you need to kind of really collect yourself. You need to see what is your strategy with respect to test taking. ये भी एक कला है. The way you write the test is a skill, it's an art, and you may be a know-all, but still you may goof up. So here is the time where you have to probably come out as a sensible test taker, and you should be able to manage your test taking techniques and focus on your strengths. This is the time when you have to come forward and play on the front foot, something which you are good at, something which you probably have built up over the preparation tenure, and over the various mock CATs which you've taken. They have possibly given you a feedback that these are the areas which you are really good at. So please make sure that you identify all these areas and you're able to give in your best. Strategize. This is the time to strategize. CAT in fact is a test which is looking at your overall ability to formulate a strategy to solve a problem. देखिए टेस्ट का ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है? टेस्ट का ऑब्जेक्टिव ये है कि वो ये छांट ले कि आप में से मैनेजमेंट जो स्ट्रैटेजीज हैं वो कौन लोग बना सकते हैं. Who is that person who's able to design a strategy to address a problem? They're looking at the manager within you. So this is the overall objective, and you have to understand that taking those steps in a sequence and solving the problem in that particular way is the core objective of this test. You would have emerged as a test taker by now. इतने सारे mock CAT दे दिए, इतने सारे अपने section tests, comprehensive tests, full length tests दे रखे हैं. तो अभी तक एक picture clear हो जानी चाहिए that this is the kind of person I am as a test taker. ये मेरी strengths है, ये मेरी weaknesses हैं, and that picture has to be understood very clearly. Identify the most rewarding strategy. In all these practice tests, there are certain strategies which would have really paid you well, which would have treated you well. So you need to identify those strategies, make it more coherent and yet be open to customization. एक तरफ हम ये कह रहे हैं कि आइडेंटिफाई करें आप स्ट्रैटेजी जो आपके लिए बहुत beneficial है, which is able to give you dividends. On the other side, we also tell you that you keep an open mind and be prepared for any kind of a change which you may have to manage on that particular day. Remember, this is a test of management skills. So change is definitely going to be there in some way or the other. So on one side, we tell you that you need to identify a strategy which works under certain circumstances. On the other hand, we tell you to be open-minded and be prepared for anything which comes out on that particular day. Be prepared for disaster management. Disaster here is obviously the unexpected, any kind of a change which is ushered in. तो अगर ऐसा कुछ हो जाता है, you got to be prepared for that and you have to think off your feet, but in a broad framework of strategy. Revisit. जैसे पहले हमने बात की, this is the time to consolidate, this is the time to recapitulate. तो कैसे करेंगे आप? You need to go back to areas and topics which need a final review. बहुत से students ऐसे हैं जब तैयारी करते हैं उस दौरान they are able to identify certain topics which need a final consolidation, and this is the time when you can probably go back and consolidate and cement that particular topic for the day of the test. Revise all key formulae and topic wise tips. See, it's important that you understand the test as broadly challenging you on two dimensions. One is the concept part and the other is the practice part. Now the concept part is more intensive in case of the quantitative ability section. Now, this is a section where your concepts become very critical for you to respond correctly to the question. तो यहाँ पर आप जो आपके पास जो 10 दिन है, आप ज़रूर एक बार वापस जाइए and revisit all the formulae. For example, if you don't know what's a cyclic trapezium, you better have a perspective now. You should know the formula to find the area, the volume, etc., etc. And this is applicable to other topics as well. And जो एक topic wise tips आपने ज़रूर आपको मिली होंगी from the trainer, or you would have noted down it yourself if you are preparing all by yourself. So all these tips need to be revisited. Revisit should be confined to whatever you've studied and practiced. I've been very repetitive in saying this, that this is a time to just focus on something which you've been doing, and exploring new areas is not something which is advocated at this point of time. That may put you in a different situation altogether, and we cannot afford that. Simulate. Now, simulation is obviously, as the word says, it is creating a near real experience. तो इन 10 दिनों में आप कोशिश कीजिए that you practice across 2 or 3 mock cats, not more. This is good enough, because I'm sure as a test taker you've been practicing across scores of such tests. But this is the time when you need to do it one last time, but preferably in the same time slot. Now the CAT is conducted in 2 time slots, so whichever slot is being given to you, you kind of try to practice the test in that particular slot. See, the objective is to simulate everything, even the time slot. So you tend to resonate more on that day if you have practiced under similar conditions. Conclude on a positive note. ये जो 2-3 mock cat मैं बोल रहा हूँ, इनमें से जहाँ पे आपका स्कोर अच्छा आता है, you need to stop there, because you need to enter the day on a high. You need to come in with your best performance, and that psychologically gives you that comfort level. It puts you on a high pedestal, and you're more prepared to take on the challenges there. So conclude on a positive note. Analysis of these mocks is crucial for last minute performance maximization. तो सिर्फ आपने टेस्ट देने नहीं है, आपने टेस्ट को एनालाइज भी करना है. उसका एनालिसिस जो है, that is probably more important than the test per se. So just taking the test would not serve the purpose. You should analyze it, and you analyze it keeping in mind the expectations and how do you move from as is to be. So that analysis is very critical. And by now, of course, all the IIMs have declared their cutoffs. So you keep that in mind. For example, if you are looking at an average cutoff in this particular test, so a score of around 95 percentile should correspond to 40%, and a score of 99 percentile should be just a bit over 50%. So it's a low scoring test. So you need to strategize accordingly. You need to see how these questions can be approached in the best possible way so as to maximize your score. So it's not an impossible situation. People do it every year, and these performances are possible. You just need to sit with yourself and analyze the mocks very carefully. इसमें mocks को जब analyze करते हो, जो आपने questions नहीं attempt किए थे while writing the test, you should time yourself again, and you should attempt those questions also. And the questions which you could not mark correctly, these questions of course need more time in terms of analysis, because the first concern here is, why did you pick up this question when there were so many others? I'm talking about a test where a score of 99 percentile is just about 50%. So you may not have responded to all the questions. So why did you pick up something which you could not handle? So ये आपने ज़रूर study करना है, आपने ये concern को address करना है, and the questions which were in place where the answers were accurate, even those questions you need to analyze in terms of being more efficient. Possible कि आपने question का answer निकाला लेकिन उसमें समय ज़्यादा लग गया, तो disproportionate time management जो है, that is also dangerous. So all three categories of questions need to be analyzed when it comes to the analysis of these mock CATs. Focus is a big differentiator. जैसे मैंने कहा कि ये समय ऐसा है कि इसमें the test taker typically gets impulsive. He's been preparing for this for quite some time, and if you are doing it along with your graduation or along with while working, then of course your challenge is kind of big, because on one side you have to score well in your graduation subjects. On the other hand, you have to do well in this test as well. If you are working, you have to perform at the workplace, and there'll be late work hours, and then you have to find time for this particular preparation. So this is an important day for you. It needs a lot of focus. So how do you focus well? Practice inward focus. This is the time when you have to consolidate, you have to speak to yourself, you have to collect yourself. So being too jumpy about the whole challenge is not a way out. You just kind of hold it within now, and keep to yourself. Talking it out to too many people is not the way out. Nobody is going to give you the solution. The solution is within you. So that is something which you have to kind of understand. Meditate if you can. I mean, if you can probably just be quiet for a while early in the morning, and if you think that it really builds up your focus, why not? So you need to meditate, and you need to collect yourself. Experience the power of self. It's all within you. Nobody else is going to solve it for you. So you have to look inward. This is the time when you should know yourself really well. Manage emotions. Now, managing emotions is one of the toughest things when we talk about a 10-day period, because this is the time when test takers they start feeling jittery, and fear and the fear of failure is one of the biggest challenges which one needs to manage. So we suggest that you practice all these things which we have discussed, so that you can manage your emotions well. Look at the brighter side and prepare your best, and let's be hopeful there. We hope that these tips would help you to bell the cat, to do well on that particular day. This is a day which you have been waiting for. You have prepared intensively, extensively, put in months, probably put in years. You have evolved as a test taker. You need to put your best foot forward now. You need to converge, you need to strategize, you need to focus, you need to consolidate, you need to come across as the test taker. Thank you and best wishes.